Are you aware that recently federal government decided to borrow workers' pension? No, as in practically they needed money to do some things, and they will never forgo their own allowances. So never. What they would rather do is to go and workers whose pensions are not being paid though, workers who are seriously adversely affected by harsh economic conditions, whose salaries are even too low, the ones that will manage to survive their years of service and are due for remittance of their pensions, government will still say they want to go and take that pension, and we are comfortable. Yet instead of us to come out and say no, this is affecting us, we will abandon everything affecting us and be deceiving ourselves with some phantom new republic that is not happening now. So how many people will survive with these distractions? How many people will survive or manage to make it into a new republic? How many? When we can at least leave the long term goal somewhere, at least not leave it to continue to water it, but we must make sure that people survive first here, because we are still being governed by the Nigerian law. Okay, because I asked some agitators recently, and they said, the constitutional force majeure already means that the Nigerian law is no longer binding on them. The same people who just said this thing to you, on their own, are still going, they are still going to do things complying with Nigerian law. They will still go on the back to comply with some Nigerian laws because it affects their businesses. So why are you allowing them to deceive you? We are still in Nigeria, so we must not shut our minds against things that are affecting us while we are still in Nigeria, even if we believe in a phantom republic. Okay, so we are going to tell workers to forgo their pension. We should not, because after all, don't worry, this Nigeria is not your home. There's a paradise in a phantom republic for you, so leave your pension. I don't otherwise. So the Daily Times says that despite 37 billion naira renovation budget, the roof at the National Assembly still leaks. Now, this is not for PDP loyalists to castigate their APC, because is a combination of APC and PDP as we speak right now at the National Assembly. All right. The last time they said it was Saraki that made it impossible for Buhari to perform. Now we have the ones who openly said, call us rubber stamp, that is what we are. But look at what is still happening. So now this is why I said PDP folks should not be the ones to complain. Under PDP also, we have had similar things. You remember under Obasanjo, when what's this name, Fani Kayode was Minister of Aviation. You remember crashes in the air and all that. Monument for aviation. Stella Odua was using monument for renovation of the airport, to be buying bulletproof cars. Under PDP and under APC, we see similar things. The roof at the airport leaks whenever it rains. Toilet, no tissue in toilet. So it's not as if this thing is PDP because it is Saraki that is Senate president, or APC because it is rubber stamp. All of them they are the same people. And it is not whether the person at the end of affairs or the person there is Fulani. No. After all, the vice president who has told you saw the video going viral yesterday saying that if you are waiting for Nigeria to break, you are waiting in vain. He's a Yoruba man. He's also a pastor, a professor for that matter. Okay? So when you look at all these things, you understand that our problem is not because of, yes, the person at the helm of affairs right now is also what you call a jingoist, an ethnic usurper too. That also had a nepotistic person. That also adds to the problem. I understand it. But what importantly we must understand is that leadership is what has failed this country, not tribe, not even parties. Leadership is what has failed all of us. Leadership. Okay, so you can see that the National Assembly, despite the is this one spiritual now? 37 billion naira budgeted, yet the roof leaks. Not 37 million, no. Not 300 million, not 370 million, not 1 billion, 37 billion. Not for new building, renovation. Corruption is the problem, guys. Corruption by leadership is our problem. If the people who are representing all of us but come together for one place, collect 37 billion naira, and still cannot fix the place they always come and sit down every fucking sorry I used the F word, apologies. Every time they come to sit to represent you, they cannot fix that. How will such people guarantee fixing the country? No, how? So can we therefore put our efforts together and say, oh yeah, that leadership first of all, come on, put something better in place at least. If we can fix leadership, we can fix anything in this country. Anything. And I move to the next paper. Now, 9 years after, that is another problem, which is judiciary. It took 9 years. 9 years after Mr. Integrity don't try bribe it, still they don't collect everything they won't collect from and finish. After 9 years, they can't sentence Lawan Farouk, Mr. Integrity, to jail. 7 years imprisonment. Now, it is in respect of somebody setting him up with $3 million. Right? Now, the person who set him up must be a saint. Are you following? Are you following? The money. Don't forget that under Jonathan, when he first came in, he tried before they muzzled him. He wanted to do what they call we call subsidy fraud trial. Okay, he wanted to try the people who kept collecting money to import fuel but never did, and federal government was paying. He wanted to put them to trial. You know what they showed Jonathan? Corruption 14, seriously. It was in the course of that Farouk Lawan was trying to say, Otedola, I know say you self collect money, clean. Okay, the Otedola can decide, say, I smart person, I don't do this business, don't they? I know clean, but at the same time, you cannot come as Mr. Integrity. Make a kukuma set you up to. Now, how many people were jailed in that oil subsidy trial? How many? Did they end up jailing anyone, any of the oil marketers, in respect of how many were jailed? How many were actually guilty? Now, they diverted your national attention away from the oil subsidy fraudsters. Okay, the reason you are still buying fuel for an expensive rate per liter, despite that your country is an oil producing country and you're supposed to be benefiting that. They drew your attention away from that to say the person who wanted the bribe to cover a particular oil marketer is the one that is at fault, when we are supposed to have the two go down together. Yeah, Shegun, calm down. It's not for me to. I'm just trying to give you analysis. It's not in my place to decide the outcome. It's for all of you. If the outcome is let us distract ourselves more. So, but me, I go remain to dey give you the facts. Twitter ban, federal government defiant as Ecowas court stops prosecution of users. Ecowas no get mouth again. Ecowas no get mouth, especially for Nigerian matter. Well, let me go to. Okay, I already said something about 9 years after court sends Farouk Lawan to jail to Kuje prison. All right. Now the last paper I have for today. Buhari is seeking Senate approval for additional 895.84 billion supplementary budget. Family and friends. How much was it? $2.2 billion loan from China and everywhere. Okay. Now, oh God. Now, for our budget, internal budget, additional 895.84 billion supplementary. We are asked not to monitor that. We are asked to be busy doing rally and carnival, asking for phantom republic while the businesses continue, and you are going to be the ones paying for it. I like to hold one of these Yoruba agitators. I'm not condemning the agitation, don't get me wrong. I'm just saying there's difference between a long-term agitation, something that you are not going to achieve now, and a short-term thing. Because at the end of the day, what is going to affect all of us is that what we have right now is still our own. I have a lot of friends who still live abroad, who still reside abroad. They are Nigerians, yet they protest abroad that our rights must still be protected. They are not fighting that the country belongs to them. No, they know it's not possible. They know it is not possible that the country will be given to them. They know, but they still fight for representation, for recognition of their rights. But you can't talk say the one will be our own country, make we live on. See, live on for Fulani. Let them trample on our rights. Even though we still carry Nigerian passports, we still spend in naira. I have not seen any of these agitators at least relinquish their own account and say, Shegun, take all the money in my account. I'm not using it again. By virtue of the constitutional force majeure, the naira is no longer valid. They still use Nigerian law, 1999 constitution, to conduct election in Oyo State how many weeks ago, and the agitators are largely based there. So how come you are not applying your on the election? Okay, let me take comments. Somebody wants me to clear something here. Say, if you are not condemning agitators, why saying phantom republic? Yes, phantom, because at the moment what we still have is this country, Nigeria. So it is still some kind of intellectual masturbation. It's still some kind of intellectual masturbation that we want to let everybody abandon their current existence and essence, while continue to look for something that is not yet in existence. I want to allow those who are abusing me too. Okay, they were referring to general election. Okay, we are shifting the goalposts small. Okay, all right, we are shifting it small. Okay, now it is not yet here. It still exists. It still exists in our imaginations. It still exists because we are still hoping for it. It's not yet here. Consequently, to spend before 2023 or before Oduduwa Republic is here. Before we get to Oduduwa